Hey, this is Daniel from Boujuke Productions, and today we are doing a Yahoo mock draft. Yahoo Fantasy Football. If you don't know what fantasy football is, it's basically you draft players that are usually starters, and every time they get yardage or every time they score, you get points. And if you get the most points, you win. And what do you win at the end? A trophy. Does that trophy matter to you specifically? No, it doesn't. But it's a trophy and it looks good on your profile. I've been doing fantasy since maybe 2017, I think. I first joined a little team with my colleagues, and I am a diamond member. But yeah, I think if you don't like football or you don't understand what fantasy football is, you might not understand a little bit about what this entails. So I am going to start this draft in about 20 seconds. You won't see it on here, but there's 20 seconds on the upper left corner. And the draft order, I'm going second. And then the way that this draft works is it's called a snake draft. Basically, if you start first or second, you're not going to start first or second until the third round. So, oh, there goes the sound. Let's see who you pick. Most people will go first with Christian McCaffrey. Very first pick, he's usually the best player. The next best player usually is Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara. For this particular draft, I'm going to go with, the problem is Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry are both good. Dalvin Cook can catch a little bit more, but I like Derrick Henry more. It's going to sound dumb, but I went with Derrick Henry because he's a better running back than I think of Dalvin Cook. He gets less injured than Dalvin Cook. And there you go. So, okay. I don't know if I can go through this rundown, but this is my, a strategy. This is my strategy on picking players. There's going to be players that people don't pick down below, or there's some players that may slide a little further than usual. Like some of my drafts before, Aaron Rodgers slid quite a bit because he had that hold out and stuff like that. Let's see, Michael Thomas is sliding because he got injured, and they said that he might be out for a good 6-ish weeks of the season, so he will slide down. But he was in the first or second round before, so as I said, I won't pick until so when it snakes, it goes 1 through 10, and then 10 through 1, and then 1 through 10 again. So I'll pick again at the very end of the second round, and then I'll immediately pick again right at the start of the third round. So that's what a snake draft is. Okay, here we go. We're going into the second round. I'm just going to jump in just because. So you'll see on my screen, the way the draft works is they'll show the best player that you can pick based on numbers that the NFL and different quote NFL experts, whatever that means, that put up these fake projection numbers of a player. Doesn't mean that they're going to get it. It could be that they'll get injured. That could always happen. You'll never know. Like Christian McCaffrey got injured like a couple weeks into the season last year, so everybody who drafted him first overall basically lost that season. So it projects that. But right now, you'll see these orange lines here. It basically puts me where they approximately think where I'll pick, and then they'll see what my best players that I could pick out here. So I went ahead and drafted a running back first. When you draft a running back first, it actually means you're going to get probably the most points, because running backs actually they're what I call a hot commodity. So if you get really good RBs first, it might actually make a difference instead of getting wide receivers first. So that's why RBs are actually at the top. You'll notice that the first 6 or 7 are RBs, which are running backs, because running backs can catch and they can run. And I don't know, some teams have really good running backs. But in this case, the next 6 to 8 are all wide receivers with a couple of tight ends. The next RBs that I think are projected are like David Montgomery and I think J.K. Dobbins. In this case also, you're going to have to look at the bye. The bye is basically when the player does not play for that week. I probably will draft DK Metcalf in this position. He's just a great player. AJ Brown is a pretty good player. Actually, the next four are pretty good. AJ Brown, DK, McLaren, and Robinson. They're really good players. Robinson, not sure who their quarterback is. Same thing for Terry McLaren. That's the only issue. And then bye week shouldn't matter since they're wide receivers for me. And yeah, so DK Metcalf's probably my pick. He's gonna probably get around 1,300 receiving yards, 10 touchdowns, something like that. And he's a Seahawk, and I love the Seahawks, so he's a good pick for me. And as I said, it's a snake, so I pick in another two people in front of me. Actually, it's not even two people, it's one person. It's the person who's placed first. He'll go last, and then he'll go right again. Who did he draft? Did it say who he drafted? Oh, I have no idea. He drafted somebody that I have no idea because Allen Robinson's still here. Now, Allen Robinson has a different bye than DK Metcalf, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pick him. So, two great wide receivers. As I said, RBs might be a hot commodity, but I went with the best man because DK and Allen Robinson will be a really high chance of having a high score wide receiver. And Allen Robinson also had like 1,100 yards last year, so, and he had it with a shitty quarterback. Like, he had 3 quarterbacks playing last season. So my next pick will be an RB. So I'll scroll down here. Myles Gaskin, everybody has him kind of high 3rd/4th round type of guy. Oh man, I don't know about him. It's just that, yes, I understand he played for the Huskies over here. He was a pretty good back, but then he got drafted in the 7th round. And also, I can't pick up Tyler Lockett because he's the same teammate with DK Metcalf. Why would I pick 2 Seahawks wide receivers? I know they could be really good together. That's why they're on the Seahawks. But I would never draft them together because if DK Metcalf gets catches, then that means Tyler Lockett's are not going to get those catches. That's the best running backs on the team. I'm not going to get Miles Sanders unless he really falls. As I said, running backs are a hot commodity. Let's see, starters for running backs would be Mike Davis, Myles Gaskin technically, Miles Sanders, James Robinson if he beats out Travis Etienne, Mike Davis, yeah, Kareem Hunt, no. Trey Sermon could be, Chase Edmonds could be. He could be pretty good in terms of as long as what's his name? James Conner doesn't come and beat him. Because he would be kind of that dual threat starting running back as well as a pass catcher. Raheem Mostert would be cool to have if he beats out Trey Sermon. Ronald Jones is technically the lead back, but Leonard Fournette is going to take up his spot. Michael Carter looks good. He's going to beat out some of the other players on the Jets, since the Jets don't really know who their running back is going to be. David Johnson for Houston might be a good play here. And what's great is Derrick Henry's bye is like week 13, so all of these players other than AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones, who is already gone, as well as Kareem Hunt, I won't have to pick them up. So Lamar Jackson, quarterbacks are okay to draft kind of high, especially when they're the good quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson's still a great quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. Because this is a mock draft, it's not like I'm actually drafting anyone who I care about. In this instance, I'm just going to hope Myles Gaskins is a great player. Okay, so I drafted Myles Gaskin because he's probably the best RB that Miami has. but I would never draft him myself. And probably would have, instead of picking Allen Robinson, picked a better RB instead. That's just how it would usually go. I'm kind of in this moment. I don't usually draft on my computer too. I usually draft on my phone. It's a little easier. So who knows? Here I am up next. Lamar Jackson is still there. I'm gonna pick him because I like Lamar Jackson. He's a great quarterback. He's not a steal per se, but let's just say that I think Lamar Jackson's gonna do well this year. Also, Dak Prescott being higher than Russell Wilson kinda is dumb. Everybody that I've picked up so far is at a bye that's totally different. I got 8, 9, 10, 13, and 14. I still need a tight end, more wide receivers and running backs, kickers, defense. So we're at the start. We're trying to figure out who the best players we can pick up in this case. I'm not going to go for a quarterback until very late if I want to draft a quarterback at the very end, kind of as a holdover for my next quarterback. If once they get to their bye, I will need a good quarterback to replace them. Now, in this type of league, that doesn't matter per se. There's going to be great quarterbacks, in free agency when all of this is done. But in some of my leagues, I can even show you here since I'm not drafting. I believe it's this league. Is it this league? Also, yes, level diamond. Actually, the league is level diamond, which is hilarious. Okay, it's this league here. I draft Josh Allen, Ryan Tannehill. Yes, I know. Josh Allen, I got him really early. Why? Because quarterbacks, look at this, he scores freaking 10,000 points. It's a weird league. It's a custom league. But anyways, I grabbed Ryan Tannehill and Josh Allen. And then I drafted a few okay players. I got Aaron Jones. I grabbed Miles Sanders, Chris Carson. Let me just double check. I got 11 picks left. It was 2 tight ends, so I didn't even know what tight end to grab, so I grabbed Mark Andrews kind of in the middle, and then Jared Cook really late. I grabbed Antonio Brown, James Conner. Yeah, I know, I'm starting some guy named Nico Collins for Houston. It's weird. But then I picked up Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield for my 3rd quarterback, because I'm playing 3 quarterbacks. And then in my bench, I grab a 4th quarterback of Derek Carr. So in this league, there's 10 teams, I believe? 10 with 3 quarterbacks being played, plus a 4th as a backup, means some of these teams don't have 3 or don't have 4 quarterbacks. So when a quarterback is on a bye, they're not going to be able to replace him. Or if any of the quarterbacks get hurt, they're not going to be able to replace him. So I know this for a fact in my game here, where the guy that I'm playing has Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston, and I believe Jimmy G, Garoppolo. Let's say Jimmy G gets beaten out by Trey Lance. That's what it is. Sorry, not Trevor Lawrence. Trey Lance. Say Jimmy G gets beaten out by Trey Lance. And he drafted Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, who are both quarterbacks for New Orleans. That makes no sense. One of them's going to play more than the other. Most likely Jameis Winston. And Taysom Hill is going to come in and play a little bit, but it's not going to beat out Josh Allen, who's the starting quarterback for the Bills, and Ryan Tannehill, who's the starting quarterback for the Titans. So it makes 0 sense for how he drafted his quarterbacks. And I think for that type of league, quarterbacks are going to be a hot commodity for it. So that's why I drafted them so much higher. Partially because I had a league last season when that happened, where we had 3 quarterbacks, and I didn't know it was gonna happen, but I drafted super early. I grabbed Aaron Jones or something. No, not even. I think I draft Alvin Kamara or something like that. And then a bunch of people drafted a bunch of quarterbacks right at the start. Just realized that I talked so much that my draft is up here, so I'm gonna have to pick up somebody. No, Julian, no. I'm gonna go with Ronald Jones. Now, The reason I'm picking Ronald Jones in this case is he has a bye week that's not different from my running backs. My running backs were 13 and 14. Ronald Jones has a running back bye of week 9. He's a great running back to me. He's progressing. Leonard Fournette's not better than Ronald Jones in this case, so that's why I picked him up. Next up, I'm going to pick up... Let's see, at the very end, I got Logan Thomas. Dallas Goedert would be cool, but I don't really want him. I'm going to pick up Juju Smith-Schuster. Now, in some of my drafts that I've already drafted, I actually do pick up Juju Smith-Schuster, or I picked up Chase Claypool. They're both kind of equal in terms of what they do. I don't understand how Juju gets drafted so low now. It's maybe because he had kind of a down year last year, but he's still really good. Everybody's drafting Deontay Johnson a little early, and then Chase Claypool and Juju Smith-Schuster are getting chosen around the same round, or Juju's just slightly one round below. So, I mean, they have a great wide receiver core for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and some people say, oh, Big Ben's not going to do well, blah, blah, blah. I don't buy that. I feel like Big Ben should still be good. I mean, he was good for the first, 8 games of the year, or 10 games of the year, so I think he might not be too bad. It's just he might get sacked a bit more because his O-line's gone. So we're back into my mock draft here. We're about halfway through, and somebody just drafted James Conner. Now, me personally, if I could get him, I think I would draft Michael Carter. He has so much hidden potential for the league. He's a rookie. Nobody really knows how good he's going to be for the Jets. But the Jets don't have a running back core. So if they could rely on this guy, he's going to be the workhorse, or the person who gets the most workload. Thus, you should draft him. It's that simple. Also, his bye week's so short. It's like week 6 or something like that. So even if he sat on the bench for their team, I bet they'll play him later on. So after the bye, he might get some playing time. That's totally fine. Then I'll have a running back that I will play, throughout the last of the season, because I won't need another running back until Ronald Jones goes on his bye, or when Derrick Henry goes on his bye. But here we are in round 7. Round 7, most people will start thinking about either drafting a really good wide receiver that has fallen down, or they'll draft a defense because they think a really good defense is what they need, or they'll draft a tight end here. So defense, I'm just looking at this. It went, after James Conner, it went LA Rams defense, a pretty good wide receiver in Courtland Sutton. Washington's defense, DJ Chark, who should be the leading for Jacksonville. Then it went Pittsburgh's defense. Then it grabbed Leonard Fournette. Baltimore's defense. Holy crap, you guys are getting so many defenses. I don't see the reason to draft a defense really early. They don't produce that many points, and sometimes some defenses really suck. So, I mean, why would I draft a defense really early like that? So, I'm up next. Someone who picked up Robert Tonyan. He's a great tight end that I would think, if he fell a little bit. For me, I'm not sure what my tight end would be. Mike Gesicki might be an okay pick. Irv Smith is pretty good. Hunter Henry. Rob Gronkowski might be cool because he's a pretty good player. Because Michael Carter fell a little bit, and there's some really good players here, I'm going to grab Deebo Samuel. He's a guy who slid because, 1, he's always injured, and 2, we're not sure what his quarterback's going to play like, but I drafted him anyways. And you know what? He should heal back up. We're drafting really early, like before the preseason even starts. So maybe he'll get better, and he has blazing speed. So here we are going into the next round. Running backs. I grabbed Ronald Jones as my third running back. A fourth running back would be perfect for me. And you know what? It's my turn, so I'm going to grab Michael Carter from the Jets for a player that has hidden potential. But then again, as I said, Myles Gaskin has hidden potential. And also, if I was actually drafting properly, I would not draft Allen Robinson right there, knowing I would have to grab Myles Gaskin out running back right there. So, running back might be this year, might be 2 running backs right at the start. Like, if I got Derrick Henry right there, I should have grabbed whoever the running back was at that time. Next up, round 9, people are gonna draft high kickers. So you're gonna go with Harrison Butker, Justin Tucker, kicker that I think a lot of people are drafting high for some reason. It's Young Ho Koo, and then Greg Zuerlein, and then Tyler Bass. Those guys are always drafted like if you notice one person drafted kicker, it goes boom, 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 boom. Like, they're all gone. Other kickers that I think are really good, should you get them kind of type, not sure, but I think like Matt Gay might be cool to get. I think he's like with the Rams. Ryan Suckup for the Buccaneers. Rodrigo Blankenship for the Colts. He was solid last year. If you want like accuracy over high points, I'd say Jason Myers. He had like a ton of like consecutive kicks. I believe he led the league. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, Will Lutz. Yeah, Will Lutz for New Orleans would have also been somebody that I would have grabbed. Okay, so we're nearing up our pick. The next pick that I would probably prefer to draft would be either another wide receiver or running back. It's good to have, I believe, 5 wide receivers and 5 running backs. Though, don't quote me on that, because some people are like, what? Why would you do that? I'd be like, why wouldn't you do that? It gives you a lot of more flexibility than anything. Now, seeing my board for this, it's kind of hard to determine that. Now, the person that I think is way undervalued is Jarvis Landry, down here at the bottom as a wide receiver. Another person I think is undervalued is, I believe, Devin Singletary or Zach Moss. They're both kind of interchangeable. Also, I believe this round or last round is where you can pick up Michael Thomas right now. Not bad. Oh, hey, look, somebody picked... Nope, that's not Jason. That's not Jason Myers. Jason Sanders from Miami. I don't know why. Curtis Samuels got picked up. Who else here would be? Devontae Parker might be somebody who people might pick. Corey Davis might be a hidden pick, depending on who the Jets' wide receiver core looks like in the end. Antonio Brown might be good, because a lot of people think he'll play a part, but he's going to be like a third wide receiver compared to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. A lot of people have Devontae Smith up high because he's the rookie wide receiver, going to be next to Jalen Reagor for Jalen Hurts, I believe, for Philly. But he's injured, and we're not sure what's going to happen because, I mean, looking at how Jalen Reagor did last year, he barely caught anything. So in this case, for me, I just noticed Irv Smith got picked, so F. I'm going to have to grab a tight end at this point. Hey, look, Rob Gronkowski's there. Boom. Yeah, I think I drafted him a little early, but I still think Rob Gronkowski will be a great pass catcher, for Brady. Other tight ends that I could have picked would probably be Hunter Henry, Evan Ingram maybe. Oh, I just realized as I was talking, I ended up auto-drafting a player, and it was Irv Smith, because I ran out of time, and so it auto-drafted me the best tight end. And then I drafted Rob Gronkowski right after. Wow, I'm an idiot. So now I have 4 wide receivers, 4 RBs, 2 tight ends. I still need a kicker, a defense, and then I have 2 bench left. In this case, I might take a look at the defenses that are left. Buffalo's defense might be alright. No. New England's defense was not too bad last year. Actually, wasn't New England's defense like one of the best last year? But here's some trade secrets that I will now share. 1. Jalen Waddle for Miami may be the number 1 wide receiver for Miami instead of Devontae Parker. Oops. And he's going to be drafted way at the bottom, like in the 11th and 12th round. 2. Let's see, just double check. He's not actually drafted yet. There you go. T.Y. Hilton might be a hidden gem. You can draft him probably 15th as just as a flyer. So it's my turn. Corey Davis is still there. He's week 6, but Deebo Samuel's a week 6 guy, so I can't draft him there. Michael Pittman Jr. might be the actual better Indianapolis player, and I think I'm going to pick him up. Week 14. Miles Gas. Oh, wait, that's fine. He's a wide receiver, so his bye week does not, doesn't like put him away with Myles Gaskin or anything like that, who also has a bye week at 14. But it just means I won't have to be able to play both of them at the same time on week 14. But it doesn't matter because he's most likely going to be staying on my bench. I pick next in a couple. I think Jalen Waddle would have been a better pick because he also has a bye week of 14. And also means I can't pick up T.Y. Hilton. But, here's T.Y. Hilton. He would be a good old player here. And then, who would I draft now? Who do I draft now? I now have 5 wide receivers. Could draft a running back. Problem is that there's not really any good running backs anymore here. They're all backups. Yeah, they're all backups. So I'm going to go with the best thing that I think is team defense. And I'm going to draft the New England Patriots. At the very end, nobody really knows what they're doing at the very end. They're just hoping for the best. This is where you pick up your flyer player. So a player that you think that might, be the cherry on top of your roster. Somebody that might just surprise you on how you drafted him in this one specific round. He did so well. Or on the other hand, he could be just another player that's mediocre at best in terms of all of your other players, and he's easily droppable so that, say, somebody is doing well in free agency, somebody who's a free agent after this draft and during the season, you might be able to drop that player to draft that other player. So that type of person could be Jalen Waddle, even though by week 14 might be a stress for me because New England's bye is also 14. This is another where you might draft a quarterback at the very end, somebody who doesn't have a bye week of 8 for me. So who's the quarterbacks that are left for me? Carson Wentz got hurt, I don't really want him for week 14 bye. I'm not going to do Tua Tagovailoa. Big Ben would be my pick. Who else would be my pick? Derek Carr, Trey Lance if he beats Jimmy G. 4 picks coming up. And most likely a kicker will be my last pick. So this next pick will be my flyer pick. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and draft Big Ben here. Now, I did say just now that you shouldn't draft a quarterback with the same wide receiver in that moment, but Juju is most likely on my bench anyways at the start, so Big Ben might have a great year. Who knows? So, and if not, as I said, I can drop him and pick up a rookie quarterback that is doing well, like Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. Maybe Tua will do better. Maybe Cam Newton will be Cam Newton from when he was in the Panthers. Who knows? Next up, I have a kicker to pick up. Now, Ryan Suckup would usually be my kicker, but I think I like Mason Crosby to be more. Especially knowing Aaron Rodgers is going to play. So, that is my team. So, let's see if I can do a full team here before my team. There you go. So this is my team as the draft is about to close out soon. But basically I drafted Lamar Jackson, great quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. I drafted DK Metcalf high. He's going to be a great wide receiver. I see good things in his future here. Allen Robinson, as long as he gets some okay quarterback play from either Justin Fields or Nick Foles or whoever the heck is there. Derrick Henry, of course, is a beast. Myles Gaskin is kind of, I'm not sure if I'll be able to play him consistently. And probably RBs is probably my weakest group here. Because who knows if Ronald Jones is going to be the Ronald Jones from his rookie year when he only went for like 300 yards, or he's going to be the Ronald Jones that he is last year when he went for like 1,100 or something like that, or 1,000. Juju Smith-Schuster is a great pick. Irv Smith is a great pick, even though I didn't actually pick him up. It was just an auto draft. Rob Gronkowski would have been my better, and then I would have drafted like a wide receiver, running back at that point. Michael Carter is a project, but I think he might be the sneaky pick for the year. Michael Pittman Jr. is a great wide receiver bench that if he doesn't do well, I could totally just drop him. Big Ben, same thing. If he doesn't do well, just drop him. And then Mason Crosby might be a good kicker for the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers. And then New England's defense. They were pretty good last year, I thought. So I got him, and if not, I'll drop him again as well for whatever. So this is my team initially, but everything can be changed. Everything can be changed even before the season even starts. So whenever you're planning things, and especially this one where I'm just planning in the moment, I do a couple mock drafts, every other week here just to get myself freshed up, as we get ready for the season. Always keep planning and planning and planning just to make sure that you are set correctly. And then in the moment afterwards, when the season actually starts, be proactive, take the initiative to research all of the players, and then make the correct judgment if you need to drop them and make the best team. And that's how you're going to win. That's coming from a Diamond member. When I say Diamond member, I mean a Diamond fantasy football manager player kind of person. But make sure that you're going to get the most and the best results from your players, and do that in both life and in fantasy. So that's all I got for you. This is going to be a long video, so I'm going to try to edit it down. Again, if you guys did watch my video last week or the week before that, I think my videos are not going to be coming out the high quality, not even the high quality ones. The project based ones are starting in September, so August is going to be kind of random again, and we'll be working really hard to try to get that out properly and all set up on Wednesdays. Alright, this is Daniel from Boujuke Productions. Have a good rest of your day.